So when you're applying, you have two options. You have the exhibitors and you have the artist alley. The difference is exhibitors are bigger tables, usually closer to the front of the room. So normally they get more traffic. It's bigger spaces. Usually it's a 10 by 10. Often they're like 3 to 4 times the cost of an artist alley table. Exhibitor spots for some shows can be a little bit more strict on fan art. Some shows don't allow fan art at all in exhibitors area. It really depends on the particular show. So that's something you're going to have to kind of figure out for yourself. Artist alley spots are usually cheaper, usually farther to the back of the room. So you're going to be playing a little game of whether or not you're going to be able to get traffic, but that's going to go from show to show. Again, you got to do your own due diligence about that particular show. I've done plenty of reviews on plenty of conventions if you want to check out my vlogs. So Artist Alley is usually 6-foot tables, so that's 6 by 2. If you get an 8-foot table, that's great. Usually they're not skirted, so you're going to want to bring your own tablecloth. Plus, bringing your own tablecloth, to go with your table setup is probably what you want to do anyway, make it look more unique. But to sign up for the Artist Alley, and we're talking strictly Artist Alley for this video, the best way to do that, honestly, is to follow any particular show on social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course bookmark their website. On their website, if you're trying to sell, often they'll have a separate tab on that convention's website that says exhibitors or want to sell or get involved. Like they'll have a little tab up at the top where it'll section off if you want to apply. A lot of the times they don't have exact dates for when they're going to open applications. Usually it says something vague like check back during summer. When it's like that, the best way to do it is to just shoot a DM or a tweet or an email directly to the convention. Any convention should have a coordinator specifically for Artist Alley. Bigger shows will have 2 different coordinators for exhibitors and Artist Alley, but you should be able to get a hold of somebody. A lot of convention websites even have one of those forms at the bottom of their page where it'll automatically email it to them when you fill it out. So with Artist Alley, there are a few different ways they accept applicants. The most common one is first come, first serve. For example, a show will say, hey, on Friday the 30th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and make sure you get your time zones right, don't mess that up. We're going to open applications. The first 100 applications will get in. Now you have to understand, first come, first serve. If you beat everyone in and you finish filling out the application and they get to it, they accept you, they are going to expect you to pay right away. So it may be a few months to an entire year before you even get the opportunity to get the return on your investment on that particular show. So if you're trying to stack up like I do, like I stack up like 30 shows, you could be pretty deep before you even get a chance, to get your return. So you just need to be aware of that they do require you, like 99% of the time, to pay the whole thing up front. The next way Artist Alley likes to they determine is a juried system. Juried, I quote juried because a lot of them I don't think are juried. I think there's a lot of favoritism involved, but that's a different video. So when you're filling out these applications for juried systems, often they'll ask for a direct link to either a portfolio or a specific piece that you plan to sell. If it's a specific piece that they're asking for, usually they'll ask for like 3 or 4 examples of exact things you're going to sell. Make sure you give them a link that's going to go directly to the image, but not on Facebook, because if it's on Facebook or Instagram and you're like linking them to that, if they're checking it and they don't have a Facebook or Instagram, they're not going to be able to see it. So if you don't have your own portfolio and you don't know how to do any of this, make a DeviantArt, okay? This will be good enough, even if you don't have your own website. Make a DeviantArt, all right? And in your gallery at DeviantArt, make a subfolder and just call it Portfolio 1, Portfolio 2, Portfolio 3. Put all the pieces you want to apply to that show, put it in one of those folders and link that folder to them if they want the portfolio, and then link that particular image's direct link to if they want to see the specific one. All right, just go through DeviantArt if you don't have your own personal website. It's good enough. That's what I use. because funny enough, I don't have my own website, but that's what I use and it works just fine. Now, the reason I said make a bunch of different subfolders, portfolio 1, portfolio 2, portfolio 3, etc. A lot of conventions, depending on the genre, are looking for different things. So like a comic book convention wants to see more ink commissions, they want to see sketch covers, they want to see a lot of single character pinup stuff of superheroes or Harley Quinn. When you're applying for a juried comic book convention, naturally you want to put more of that stuff in the portfolio you're going to give them. You don't want to put that stuff for an anime show that's juried because that's not what they want, right? A lot of shows will give you like a criteria of what they want. You know, for example, Fanime in California, in San Jose, they say they have like a point system. It's like effort, composition, skill. You know, every show will have their own thing. Again, do your due diligence and see what that show wants in order to determine what you're gonna give them. Okay. The next form of choosing artists is a lottery system. It's plain and simple. They'll give you a certain date when the applications are open. You put your application in, and then they randomly pick who they want. So there's a ticketing system called Eventbrite. Eventbrite, you guys should be familiar with that by now. A lot of conventions use that to sell their artist alley spaces. So the way Eventbrite works is, for example, let's say they're going to open up Artist Alley and they have 100 spots open. All right. So as soon as, and this mainly applies to first come, first serve, they have 100 spots open. As soon as the clock ticks to when it's supposed to open, everyone floods in there and the first 100 people get into Eventbrite. When they go through Eventbrite, it takes them to a section where they start filling out forms. Okay. Now they have, I believe it's 42 minutes to fill out that form. If they don't fill it out, if they can't pay, if they get kicked out, if something happens and they don't process, they get kicked out, that spot will become open again. All right. So if you're trying to sign up for Artist Alley and it's going through Eventbrite and you don't get in during the first rush, that first wave, sit around, refresh the page every 5 to 10 minutes. The clock out time is supposed to be 42 minutes, but it's worth that short time investment to keep refreshing. And eventually, where it says sold out, once people start getting kicked out, it'll show open again. A lot of people don't know that it works like that. A lot of people get discouraged when they don't make it into the first rush of people. So you can get back in if they're going through Eventbrite. Another thing you want to be aware of is tax and seller's permits information. At least in California, a lot of shows actually require you to have a seller's permit when you apply for the Artist Alley. Sometimes they'll let you bypass it and then provide it to them later, but understand that is sometimes something that they require right when you sign up. So you have to be prepared for that, and every state has their own individual way of doing seller's permits. So you're gonna have to figure out what it's like for any particular state and then take care of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What I like to do is bookmark every particular convention, and then I separate it into different states because I'm in the US. I separate it into different states. Once every morning, I'll just open all my tabs, just all the tabs in the world, and just kind of click through and then see which ones are open, which ones are not, which ones are coming up, and then you just have to stay on top of it. It's a little time consuming, but if you want it, it's gonna cost you a little bit of time. But if you guys have any more questions about Artist Alley, about how to sign up, if there's anything I missed, just let me know. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you found this helpful. See ya.